Om. 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 Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapyat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Twameva Mata Cha Pita Twameva Twameva Bandhuscha Sakha Twameva Twameva Vedya Dravinam Twameva Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Jai Guru. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So you were able to get into the room, Aditi.
Yes.
Is there anybody else in the waiting room?
I'll try to look. I think everybody's in. Yeah, there's nobody in the waiting room.
Okay. Do you want to read, Aditi, or shall I have Howard?
I can read.
Okay. And I think Mark sent me where we were. He's in urgent care this morning.
Oh.
He thinks he has an infection in his
Started
knee.
chapter 52.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
All right.
Chapter 52. Being happy, making happy is the rhythm of love.
I like that.
It is your complete ignorance of yourself that covered up your love and happiness and made you seek for what you have never lost. Love is will, the will to share your happiness with all. Being happy, making happy, this is the rhythm of love. Questioner. I came from Europe a few months ago on one of my periodical visits to my guru near Calcutta. Now I am on my way back home. I was invited by a friend to meet you, and I am glad I came. Maharaj, what did you learn from your guru, and what practice did you follow? Questioner. He is a venerable old man of about 80. Philosophically, he is a Vedantin, and the practice he teaches has much to do with rousing the unconscious energies of the mind and bringing the hidden obstacles and blockages into the conscious. My personal sadhana was related to my peculiar problem from early infancy and childhood. My mother could not give me the feeling of being secure and loved, which is so important to the child's natural development. She was a woman not fit to be a mother, ridden with anxieties and neuroses. Unsure of herself, she felt me to be a responsibility and a burden beyond her capacity to bear. She never wanted me to be born. She did not want me to grow and develop. She wanted me back in her womb, unborn, non-existent. Any movement of life in me she resisted. Any attempt to go beyond the narrow circle of her habitual existence she fought fiercely. As a child, I was both sensitive and affectionate. I craved love above everything else, and love, the simple, instinctive love of a mother for her child, was denied me. The child's search for its mother became the leading motivation in my life, and I never grew out of it. A happy child, a happy childhood became an obsession with me. Pregnancy, birth, and infancy interested me passionately. I became an obstetrician of some renown and contributed to the development of the method of painless childbirth. A happy child of a happy mother. That was my ideal all my life. But my mother was always there, unhappy herself, unwilling and incapable of seeing me happy. It manifested itself in strange ways. Whenever I was unwell, she felt better. When I was in good shape, she was down again, cursing herself and me too. As if she never forgave me for my crime of having been born, she made me feel guilty for being alive. You live because you hate me. If you love me, die, was her constant, though silent message. And I spent my life being offered death instead of love. Imprisoned as I was in my mother, the perennial infant, I could not develop a meaningful relationship with a woman. The image of my mother would stand between, unforgiving, unforgiven. I sought solace in my work and found much, but I could not move from the pit of infancy. Finally, I turned to the spiritual search, and I have been on this line steadily for many years. But, in a way, it is the same old search for mother's love. Call it God or Atma or Supreme Reality. Basically, I want to love and be loved. Unfortunately, the so-called religious people are against life and are all for the mind. When faced with life's needs and urges, they begin by classifying, abstracting, and conceptualizing, and then make the classification more important than life itself. They ask you to concentrate on and impersonate a concept. Instead of spontaneous integration through love, they recommend the deliberate and laborious concentration on a formula. Whether it is God or Atma, the me or the other, it comes to the same. Something to think about, not somebody to love. It is not theories and systems that I need. There are many equally attractive or plausible. I need a stirring of the heart, a renewal of life, not a new way of thinking. There are no new ways of thinking, but feelings can be very fresh. When I love somebody, I meditate on him spontaneously and powerfully, with warmth and vigor, which my mind cannot command. Words are good for shaping feelings. Words without feelings are like clothes with no body inside, cold and limp. This mother of mine, she drained me of all feelings. My sources have run dry. Can I find here the richness and abundance of emotions which I needed in such ample measure as a child? Maharaj, where is your childhood now, and what is your future? Questioner, I was born, I have grown, I shall die. Maharaj, you mean your body, of course, and your mind. I'm not talking of your physiology and psychology. They are a part of nature and are governed by nature's law. I am talking of your search for love. Had it a beginning? Will it have an end? Questioner, I really cannot say. It is there from the earliest to the last moment of my life. This yearning for love. How constant and how hopeless. Maharaj, in your search for love, what exactly are you searching for? Questioner, simply this, to love and to be loved. Maharaj, you mean a woman? Questioner, not necessarily. a friend, a teacher, a guide, as long as the feeling is bright and clear. Of course, a woman is the usual answer, but it need not be the only one. Maharaj, of the two, what would you prefer, to love or to be loved? Questioner, I would rather have both, but I can see that to love is greater, nobler, deeper. To be loved is sweet, but it does not make one grow. Maharaj, can you love on your own, or must you be made to love? Questioner, one must meet somebody lovable, of course. My mother was not only not loving, she was also not lovable. Maharaj, what makes a person lovable? Is it not the being loved? First you love, and then you look for reasons. Questioner, it can be the other way around. You love what makes you happy. Maharaj, but what makes you happy? Questioner, there is no rule about it. The entire subject is highly individual and unpredictable. Maharaj, right. Whichever way you put it, unless you love, there is no happiness. But does love always make you happy? Is not the association of love with happiness a rather early infantile stage? When the beloved suffers, don't you suffer too? And do you cease to love because you suffer? Must love and happiness come and go together? Is love merely the expectation of pleasure? Questioner, of course not. There can be much suffering in love. Questioner, Maharaj, then what is love? Is it not a state of being rather than a state of mind? Must you know that you love in order to love? Did you not love your mother unknowingly? Your craving for her love, for an opportunity to love her, is it not the movement of love? Is not love as much a part of you as consciousness of being? You sought the love of your mother because you loved her. Questioner, but she would not let me. Maharaj, she could not stop you. Questioner, then why was I unhappy all my life? Maharaj, because you did not go down to the very roots of your being. It is your complete ignorance of yourself that covered up your love and happiness and made you seek for what you have never lost. Love is will, the will to share your happiness with all. Being happy, making happy, this is the rhythm of love. That's the end of the chapter.
I don't have a whole lot to say.
Chapter 53.
Let me just, a few thoughts. Swamiji's love was personally impersonal. He deeply loved whoever was in front of him. It was clear to me that he saw all our flaws. We weren't ever hiding anything from him. I would define love as genuinely wishing the well-being of another. Now, when we have love of God, it's not that I want God to be happy. It's a response to being loved. But I remember one of Swamiji's sayings, my love is like a fire hose. Whoever gets in front of me gets blasted. And he would love people that many of us at a camp would just roll our eyes at. There was a young man, I can't even remember his name now. I suspect that he had some sort of a deep psychological issue, like he heard voices or something, because he would go around all the time with headphones on back in those days and sing budgeons along with the headphones off key. It was really obnoxious. And he would drink. He would drink even at the camp. And he went to see Swamiji one-on-one. I never saw Swamiji one-on-one. It was always with groups. And Swamiji gave him a Rolex watch, which horrified so many of the people at the camp who just thought this person was the most obnoxious fellow you could imagine. But his love was unconditional. Didn't mean he didn't poke at us. I like to say there's only one lover who will never let you down, and that's God. Swamiji always wanted us to make a distinction between love and lust. And he didn't just mean erotic lust. He would define lust as wanting something from the other. Love was pure. Love was, as Maharaj is saying, it's the will to love. It's part of our nature. If you're walking in nature and you see a beautiful flower, is not the acknowledgement of beauty that you love it? Something warms in the heart in its appreciation. Those are the only thoughts I have. Anybody else have any others? All right, next chapter.
53. Desires fulfilled breed more desires. Desires fulfilled breed more desires. Keeping away from all desires and contentment in what comes by itself is a very fruitful state, a precondition to the state of fullness. Don't distrust its apparent sterility and emptiness. Believe me, it is the satisfaction of desires that breeds misery. Freedom from desires is bliss. Questioner. I must confess I came today in a rebellious mood. I got a raw deal at the airline's office. When faced with such situations, everything seems doubtful, everything seems useless. Maharaj, this is a very useful mood, doubting all, refusing all, unwilling to learn through another. It is the fruit of your long sadhana. After all, one does not study forever. Questioner. Enough of it. It took me nowhere. Maharaj. Don't say nowhere. It took you where you are. It took you where you are. Now. Questioner. It is again the child and its tantrums. I have not moved an inch from where I was. Maharaj. You began as a child, and you will end as a child. Whatever you have acquired in the meantime, you must lose and start at the beginning. Questioner. But the child kicks. When it is unhappy or denied anything, it kicks. Maharaj. Let it kick. Just look at the kicking. And if you are too afraid of society to kick convincingly, look at that too. I know it is a painful business, but there is no remedy except one. The search for remedies must cease. If you are angry or in pain, separate yourself from anger and pain and watch them. Externalization is the first step to liberation. Step away and look. The physical events will go on happening, but by themselves they have no importance. It is the mind alone that matters. Whatever happens, you cannot kick and scream in an airline office or in a bank. Society does not allow it. If you do not like their ways or are not prepared to endure them, don't fly or carry money. Walk. Walk, and if you cannot walk, don't travel. If you deal with society, you must accept its ways, for its ways are your ways. Your needs and demands have created them. Your desires are so complex and contradictory. No wonder the society you create is also complex and contradictory. Questioner: I do see and admit that the outer chaos is merely a reflection of my own inner disharmony. But what is the remedy? Maharaj: don't seek remedies. Questioner: sometimes one is in a state of grace and life is happy and harmonious. But such a state does not last. The mood changes and all goes wrong. Maharaj: if you could only keep quiet, clear of memories and expectations, you would be able to discern the beautiful pattern of events. It is your restlessness that causes chaos. Questioner: for the full 3 hours that I spent in the airline office, I was practicing patience and forbearance. It did not speed up matters. Maharaj: at least it did not slow them down, as your kicking would have surely done. You want immediate results. We do not dispense magic here. Everybody makes the same mistake, refusing the means but wanting the ends. You want peace and harmony in the world, but refuse to have them in yourself. Follow my advice implicitly, and you will not be disappointed. I cannot solve your problem by mere words. You have to act on what I told you and persevere. It is not the right advice that liberates, but the action based on it. Just like a doctor who, after giving the patient an injection, tells him, now keep quiet, do nothing more, just keep quiet. I am telling you, you have got your injection, now keep quiet, just keep quiet. You have nothing else to do. My guru did the same. He would tell me something and then say, now keep quiet. Don't go on ruminating all the time. Stop. Be silent. Questioner: I can keep quiet for an hour in the morning, but the day is long and many things happen that throw me out of balance. It is easy to say be silent, but to be silent when all is screaming in me and around me, please tell me how it is done. Maharaj: all that needs doing can be done in peace and silence. There is no need to get upset. Questioner: it is all theory which does not fit the facts. I am returning to Europe with nothing to do there. My life is completely empty. Maharaj: if you just try to keep quiet, all will come. The work, the strength for work, the right motive. Must you know everything beforehand? Don't be anxious about your future. Be quiet now, and all will fall into place. The unexpected is bound to happen, while the anticipated may never come. Don't tell me you cannot control your nature. You need not control it. Throw it overboard. Have no nature to fight or submit to. No experience will hurt you, provided you don't make it into a habit. Of the entire universe, You are the subtle cause. All is because you are. Grasp this point firmly and deeply and dwell on it repeatedly. To realize this as absolutely true is liberation. Questioner: if I am the seed of my universe, then a rotten seed I am. By the fruit the seed is known. Maharaj: what is wrong with your world that you swear at it? Questioner: it is full of pain. Maharaj: nature is neither pleasant nor painful. It is all intelligence and beauty. Pain and pleasure are in the mind. Change your scale of values and all will change. Pleasure and pain are mere disturbances of the senses. Treat them equally and there will only be bliss. And the world is what you make it. By all means, make it happy. Only contentment can make you happy. Desires fulfilled breed more desires. Keeping away from all desires and contentment in what comes by itself is a very fruitful state, a precondition to the state of fullness.
So let's stop there. This is such an important point. Ego says, I'm unhappy because I don't have what I want. And then we struggle to get what we want. And then we rejoice when we do get what we want because we think we are powerful. And what Maharaj is saying and what all the scriptures say, the cause of the suffering is not because I don't have what I want. The cause of the suffering is my compulsion to want. And you can't get rid of desire by trying to satisfy it all the time. It's just like thinking you're going to quench a fire by pouring fuel on it. Viveka Vairagyacha. Brahman alone is real, the phenomenal world is illusory. It's Viveka. Vairagya, that desire to give up attachment to all experiences gained through the senses. Well, then do I just shut the world out? No, the world will come. But practice santosha, contentment. Preferences are not problematic. It's insistence. It's insistence. I must have it this way in order to be okay or be happy. And then we also have to stand back, understand the mechanism of this inner 2-year-old. When the situation is conducive, the mind is happy. When the situation is non-conducive, the mind is unhappy. Wah! But you and I don't have to be involved with it. Stand back and witness it. And the volume level goes way down. But if I'm identified with the mind and I start the struggle of ego to take the baseball bat to life to get what I want, then suffering arises. Any thoughts? Going on.
Keeping away from all desires and contentment in what comes by itself is a very fruitful state, a precondition to the state of fullness. Don't distrust its apparent sterility and emptiness. Believe me, it is the satisfaction of desires that breeds misery. Freedom from desires is bliss. Questioner: there are things that we need. Maharaj: what you need will come to you if you do not ask for what you do not need. Yet only a few people reach this state of complete dispassion and detachment. It is a very high state, the very threshold of liberation. Questioner: I have been barren for the last 2 years, desolate and empty, and often I was praying for death to come. Maharaj: well, with your coming here, events have started rolling. Let things happen as they happen. They will sort themselves out nicely in the end. You need not strain towards the future. The future will come to you on its own. For some time longer, you will remain sleepwalking as you do now, bereft of meaning and assurance. But this period will end, and you will find your work both fruitful and easy. There are always moments when one feels empty and estranged. Such moments are most desirable, for it means the soul has cast off its moorings and is sailing for distant places. This is detachment, when the old is over and the new has not yet come. If you are afraid, the state may be distressing, but there is nothing really to be afraid of. Remember the instruction: whatever you come across, go beyond. Questioner: the Buddha's rule, to remember what needs to be remembered. But I find it so difficult to remember the right thing at the right moment. With me, forgetting seems to be the rule. Maharaj: it is not easy to remember when every situation brings up a storm of desires and fears. Craving born of memory is also the destroyer of memory. Questioner: how am I to fight desire? There is nothing stronger. Maharaj: the waters of life are thundering over the rocks of objects, desirable or hateful. Remove the rocks by insight and detachment, and the same waters will flow deep, silent, and swift, in greater volume and with
So
greater power.
what is the insight that we need to do? We need to think through the nature of all phenomena. All phenomena is temporary. All the objects can only deliver little squirts of pleasure. And the more I depend on them and crave them, the deeper into the mire of samsara I go. Understanding how vasana is created. When I engage with an object with I-ness and minus and attribute to it inherent joy-giving or misery-producing properties, I can't help it. Then the mind wishes to repeat the experience or avoid a repetition of the experience. The only way to stop it is get out, stand back. Just because I have an impulse doesn't mean I need to act on it. License is not liberty. License is being tyrannized by the indulgent tendencies of the mind. Liberty is when I'm free from that tyrant. I'm sorry, Aditi, I think I cut you off in mid-sentence.
No worries. Remove the rocks by insight and detachment, and the same waters will flow deep, silent, and swift, in greater volume and with greater power. Don't be theoretical about it. Give time to thought and consideration. If you desire to be free, do not neglect the nearest step to freedom. It is like climbing a mountain. Not a step can be missed. One step less, and the summit is not reached. That's the end of the chapter.
When Shankara puts forward the qualifications of a fit student, the four of them, Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Guna, Mumukshutva, Swamiji used to say, if we're having trouble in our sadhana, chances are we need a tune-up, he used to say. Go back to the four qualifications and see if there's one or more of them that I've been lax in practicing. When Shankara has a list of things, the literary devices, he puts the most important first. And in the list of the four qualifications, first is discrimination. Rama Satyam Jagan Nityeti Rupo Vinishchayaha Soyam Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka Samudaritaha. The firm conviction in the intellect that Brahman alone is real. And the phenomenal world is illusory, unreal, is considered discrimination between the real and the unreal. Nitya, anitya, vivekaha, by the wise. Most important. Second, vairagya, that desire to give up attachment to all experiences gained through the senses and any personal sense of self, from the body up to and including the form of Brahma, the creator. If we do nothing else, if we can just practice those two, and even if we've been doing sadhana for decades, if we're having trouble, pretty likely it's inattention to those first two. Well, these chapters are just whipping by. Let's do the next one. They're short.
Chapter 54. Body and mind are symptoms of ignorance. The body and the mind are only symptoms of ignorance, of misapprehension. Behave as if you are pure awareness, bodiless and mindless, spaceless and timeless, beyond where and when and how. Dwell on it, think of it, learn to accept its reality. Questioner. One day we were Vyakti, Vyakta, Avyakta, the person, witness, absolute. As far as I remember, you said that the absolute alone is real, and the witness is the absolute, only at a given point in space and time. The person is the organism, gross and subtle, illuminated by the presence of the witness. I do not seem to grasp the matter clearly. Could we discuss it again? You also used the terms Mahadakash, Chidakash, and Paramakash. How are they related to person, witness, and the absolute? Maharaj. Mahadakash is nature, the ocean of existence, the physical space with all that can be contracted through the senses. Chidakash is the expanse of awareness, the mental space of time, perception, and cognition. Paramakash is the timeless and spaceless reality, mindless, undifferentiated, the infinite potentiality, the source and origin, the substance and the essence, both matter and consciousness, yet beyond both.
So let's stop there just a moment. He's using Chidakash in a little bit different way than Yoga Vasishta uses it. Yoga Vasishta uses the term Chidakash. The literal meaning is the space of pure awareness. He's calling it the space of consciousness, differentiated from Parama Akash, supreme space. Don't get too caught up that terms are used slightly differently. Going on.
It cannot be perceived, but can be experienced as ever witnessing the witness, perceiving the perceiver, the origin and the end of all manifestation, the root of time and space, the prime cause in every chain of causation. Questioner. What is the difference between Vyakta and Avyakta? Maharaj.
These words translated, Vyakta means something that's manifested. Avyakta literally means something that's unmanifest. Going on.
Maharaj, there is no difference. It is like light and daylight. The universe is full of light which you do not see, but the same light you see as daylight. And what the daylight reveals is the Vyakti. The person is always the object, the witness is the subject, and their relation of mutual dependence is the reflection of their absolute identity. You imagine that they are distinct and separate states. They are not. They are the same consciousness at rest and in movement, each state conscious of the other. In Chit, man knows God, and God knows man. In Chit, the man shapes the world, and the world shapes man. Chit is the link, the bridge between extremes, the balancing and uniting factor in every experience. The totality of the perceived is what you call matter. The totality of all perceivers is what you call the universal mind. The identity of the two, manifesting itself as perceptibility and perceiving, harmony and intelligence, loveliness and loving, reasserts itself eternally. Questioner. The three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, are they only in matter or also in the mind? Maharaj. In both, of course, because the two are not separate. It is only the absolute that is beyond gunas. In fact, these are but points of views, ways of looking. They exist only in the mind. Beyond the mind, all distinctions cease.
So let me stop there. So you know a dull tamasic mind. You know an agitated, desiring mind. You know a serene, clear, and peaceful mind. You are something other than the play of the gunas. And here he's drawing directly what Krishna says in Gita. Gita says, "Oh, Arjuna, be you ever vigunahi, beyond the gunas, and ever remain in the sattvic state." Now, make up your mind. Are you beyond the gunas, or you want me to be sattvic? Yes. You want your mind to be happy, maximize sattva. But understand that it's a mind state. How do I get my mind to be sattvic? Get out of the mind. Going on.
Beyond the mind, all distinctions cease. Questioner: is the universe a product of the senses? Maharaj: just as you recreate your world on waking up, so is the universe unrolled. The mind, with its 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action, and 5 vehicles of consciousness, reappears as memory, thought, reason, and selfhood. Questioner: the sciences have made much progress. We know the body and the mind much better than our ancestors did. Your traditional way describing and analyzing mind and matter is no longer valid. Maharaj: but where are your scientists with their sciences? Are they not again images in your own mind? Questioner: here lies the basic difference. To me, they are not my own projections. They were before I was born and shall be there when I am dead. Maharaj: of course. Once you accept time and space as real, you will consider yourself minute and short-lived. But are they real? Do they depend on you or you on them? As body, you are in space. As mind, you are in time. But are you mere body with a mind in it? Have you ever investigated? Questioner: I had neither the motive nor the method. Maharaj: I am suggesting both, but the actual work of insight and detachment, Viveka Vairagya, is yours.
Now let's pause a moment. This idea of science and it being different from the teaching of the ancients, they're not really in conflict or contradictory. In Swamiji's commentaries, when we get to a topic called the Pancha Karana, Pancha means 5, Karana means causes. What it describes is the 5 tanmatras, the 5 elements, earth, air, fire, water, and ether or space, how they divide into 5 little pieces and then recombine with one another. 5-fold division and subsequent recombination. And he makes this little chart that looks like Pac-Man. But a much easier and more fruitful way of understanding it comes from Yoga Vasishta, and it has to do with perception. So we talk about 10 senses, organs of action, hands, feet, tongue, anus, and genitals, organs of knowledge, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. And then these damn elements, earth, air, fire, water, and ether. What's it all about? And what it is about is perception itself. And in the classes, what I like to say is, look at my coffee table. What's the coffee table made of? It's made of wood. What's wood made of? Oh, cellulose. What's cellulose? Mostly carbon. Okay, we got it nailed. It's carbon. As scientists in the phenomenal world, that is a relative truth. But if I dream about the coffee table in my living room, is it made of wood? It seems just as much a real wooden table as this does right now. But in fact, it's the subtle form of the senses. I see, hear, taste, touch, and smell in the dream. And what are the tanmatras, the elements? Earth, smellability. Air, touch. You can feel the wind on your skin. Earth, air, fire, seeability. Water, tasteability. Space, sounds occur in space. So the table of my dream is a combination in a very unique way of all those sense perceptions appearing as sense objects. But in fact, what is it really? What is the material cause of the table of my dream? My mind. Sankalpena comes about by means of imagination. Now, the scriptures thunder. This waking state world is no different. The fascinating question is, who's doing the dreaming? Is it my ego, like it is in the dream? My dream is not like Howard's dream. Thank God. I'd be very embarrassed if he knew what I dreamt about. And before humans even came onto the planet, galaxies were spinning, black holes were consuming matter and suns. So who's doing the dreaming is an interesting question. The locus of Maya is Brahman. It is the inherent quality of consciousness itself. Manifest this world. In fact, your body, mind, intellect is a character in God's dream. But how does God do it? Not at us and to us, but as us and through us. So we have Ishvara, the total vasana, the primary, primal cause of the manifest universe. And then the next level of manifestation is what we call Hiranyagarbha, literally the golden egg or the golden womb. Swamiji translates it as the total mind, the sum total of all the thoughts and feelings that could ever be thought or felt, and the individual minds that think them. So, for example, Howard here, where was the city in the east where you were doing your workshop?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Now, was it your idea?
Yeah.
Whose idea was it?
Oh, well, we were hired to go do it, so the idea came to us. Yeah.
Yeah. So you became the agent
Yeah.
for Ishvara. But it isn't like you got a telegram from the Lord that says, okay, have this thought and go do this. A desire, an idea arose within you or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes through us, as us. And then on top of us reenacting the creative process of the infinite, sankalpena, by means of our own imagination, but then we superimpose values on it.
Mm-hmm.
Christian scripture says nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So, on top of this inherently neutral manifestation, I superimpose this is good, that is bad, this is just, this is unjust. And then my attempt to control or manipulate becomes another layer of chaos added to the mess. So the implication that Maharaj is saying is step back. First, become indifferent to your likes and dislikes. Then do as you will. Don't go to the phone to find out what your astrology is for the day. Oh, I'm supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to do that. Trust. Practice living intuitively. And the challenge is to discern the difference between the indulgent part of the mind and the deeper intuitive part of the mind. They're not the same. Enough on that. Going on.
Questioner. Actually, I'll go back. Maharaj, I am suggesting both, but the actual work of insight and detachment, viveka and vairagya, is yours. Questioner. The only motive I can perceive is my own causeless and timeless happiness. And what is the method? Maharaj, happiness is incidental. The true and effective motive is love. You see people suffer, and you seek the best way of helping them. The answer is obvious. First, put yourself beyond the need of help. Be sure your attitude is of pure goodwill, free of expectation of any kind. Those who seek mere happiness may end up in sublime indifference, while love will never rest. As to the method, there is only one. You must come to know yourself, both what you appear to be and what you are. Clarity and charity go together. Each needs and strengthens the other. Questioner. Compassion implies the existence of an objective world, full of avoidable sorrow. Maharaj. The world is not objective, and the sorrow of it is not avoidable. Compassion is but another word for the refusal to suffer for imaginary reasons. Questioner. If the reasons are imaginary, why should the suffering be inevitable? Maharaj. It is always the false that makes you suffer. The false desires and fears, the false values and ideas, the false relationships between people. Abandon the false, and you are set free of pain. Truth makes happy. Truth liberates. Questioner. The truth is that I am a mind imprisoned in a body, and this is a very unhappy truth.
Oh,
Maharaj, you are neither the body nor in the body. There is no such thing as the body. You have grievously misunderstood yourself. To understand rightly, investigate. Questioner. But
so again, reminding Krishna's language in Gita. At first, he says, all this is strung on me like gems on a thread. Gives us the sense that the self in me is like the self in you, etc. It's a good place to start. But then later he says, well, actually, I am not in them. They are in me. So I again go to the dream. Do you incarnate into a dream? Are you in the dream or is the dream in you? Well, it's an interesting question because it feels like I'm in the dream. And then again, if you dream that you're riding a horse, you don't wake up in the morning with the horse in bed with you. They're not really in you. So when Maharaj says the body doesn't really exist, this is what he's talking about. It's vivid, but it's not substantial. Going on.
Questioner. But I was born as a body, in a body, and shall die with the body, as a body. Maharaj. This is your misconception. Inquire, investigate, doubt yourself and others. To find truth, you must not cling to your convictions. If you are sure of the immediate, you will never reach the ultimate. Your idea that you were born and that you will die is absurd. Both logic and experience contradict it. Questioner. All right, I shall not insist that I am the body. You have a point here. But here and now, as I talk to you, I am in the body, obviously. The body may not be me, but it is mine. Maharaj, the entire universe contributes incessantly to your existence. Hence, the entire universe is your body. In that sense, I agree. Questioner. My body influences me deeply. In more than one way, my body is my destiny. My character, my moods, the nature of my reactions, my desires and fears, inborn or acquired, they are all based on the body. A little alcohol, some drug or other, and all changes. Until the drug wears off, I become another man. Maharaj, all of this happens because you think yourself to be the body. Realize your real self, and even drugs will have no power over you. Questioner. Do you smoke? Maharaj, my body has kept a few habits which may as well continue until it dies. There is no harm in them. Questioner, do you eat meat? I was born among meat-eating people, and my children eat meat. I eat very little and make no fuss. Questioner, meat eating implies killing. Maharaj, obviously. I make no claims of consistency. You think absolute consistency is possible. Prove it by example. Don't preach what you do not practice. Coming back to the idea of having been born, you are stuck with what your parents told you, all about conception, pregnancy and birth, infant, child, youngster, teenager, and so on. Now divest yourself of the idea that you are the body with the help of the contrary idea that you are not the body. It is also an idea, no doubt. Treat it like something to be abandoned when its work is done. The idea that I am not the body gives reality to the body when in fact there is no such thing as the body. It is but a state of mind. You can have as many and as diverse bodies as you like. Just remember steadily what you want and reject incompatibilities. Questioner, I am like a box within a box within a box, the outer box acting as the body and the one next to it as the indwelling soul. Abstract the outer box and the next becomes the body, and the one next to it the soul. It is an infinite series, an endless opening of boxes. Is the last one the ultimate soul? Maharaj, if you have a body, you must have a soul. Here your simile of a nest of boxes applies. But here and now, through all your bodies and souls, shines awareness, the pure light of Chit. Hold on to it unswervingly. Without awareness, the body would not last a second. There is in the body a current of energy, affection, and intelligence which guides, maintains, and energizes the body. Discover that current and stay with it. Of course, all of these are manners of speaking. Words are as much a barrier as a bridge. Find the spark of life that weaves the tissues of your body and be with it. It is the only reality the body has. Questioner, what happens to that spark of life after death? Maharaj, it is beyond time. Birth and death are but points in time. Life weaves eternally its many webs. The weaving is in time, but life itself is timeless. Whatever name and shape you give to its expressions, it is like the ocean, never changing, ever changing. Questioner, all you say sounds beautifully convincing, yet my feeling of being just a person in a world, strange and alien, often inimical and dangerous, does not cease. Being a person limited in space and time, how can I possibly realize myself as the opposite, a depersonalized, universalized awareness of nothing in particular? Maharaj, you assert yourself to be what you are not, and deny yourself to be what you are. You emit the element of pure cognition, of awareness free from all personal distortions. Unless you admit the reality of Chit, you will never know yourself. Questioner,
Let me stop there for a moment. It's noon. How much longer is this chapter?
half a page.
Let's finish it then.
Questioner, what am I to do? I do not see myself as you see me. Maybe you are right and I am wrong, but how can I cease to be what I feel I am? Maharaj, a prince who believes himself to be a beggar can be convinced conclusively in one way only, You must behave as a prince and see what happens. Behave as if what I say is true and judge by what actually happens. All I ask is the little faith needed for making the first step. With experience will come confidence, and you will not need me anymore. I know what you are, and I am telling you. Trust me for a while. Questioner. To be here and now, I need my body and its senses. To understand, I need a mind. Maharaj. The body and the mind are only symptoms of ignorance, of misapprehension. Behave as if you are pure awareness, bodiless and mindless, spaceless and timeless, beyond where and when and how. Dwell on it, think of it, learn to accept its reality. Don't oppose it and deny it all the time. Keep an open mind at least. Yoga is bending the outer to the inner. Make your mind and body express the real, which is all and beyond all. By doing, you succeed, not by arguing. Questioner. Kindly allow me to come back to my first question. How does the error of being a person originate? Maharaj. The absolute precedes time. Awareness comes first. A bundle of memories and mental habits attracts attention. Awareness becomes focalized, and a person suddenly appears. Remove the light of awareness, go to sleep or swoon away, and the person disappears. The person, vyakti, flickers. Awareness, vyakta, contains all space and time. The absolute, avyakta, is. That's the end of the chapter.
So what are we on for next week?
55.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Tat Sat.